Hello, my lovely, wonderful people. Nigeria, they hot as in tension everywhere. The political landscape in Nigeria is really, really tense. So, in this video, we'll be discussing about Rotimi Amaechi. As we all know that Rotimi Amaechi, the former governor of Rivers State, have a chat section with some of his supporters on Twitter space, and he has said some of the things that have raised a lot of talks, as in reactions everywhere. It have really sparked a whole lot of reactions. Everybody are talking about it right now. First and foremost, one of the things he said, he thanked Peter Obi for the impact Peter Obi has brought up in Nigerian political landscape. That one is that they will give it to Peter Obi. Before now, many of these politicians, Nigerian politicians, they don't even go on social media, but because of Peter Obi's involvement on social media, all of them now they enter Twitter. He also said that Peter Obi was rigged out in Rivers State, that Peter Obi actually won Rivers State election, but the result was altered. Now, I know that some persons may actually come out as usual and say, what is the need? There is no need. Yes, we know that there is no need, that they are coming out to make this confession. But from my own perspective, I think this is God at work. Because number one, let's take El-Rufai for instance. If someone has told El-Rufai or any of us that are in this Nigeria that somebody like El-Rufai, the way he carried 2023 election, the way he was singing Tinubu praises, the way he was fighting people because of Tinubu, that after everything Tinubu will push him aside, nobody will believe it. But today, that same El-Rufai is just treated as nothing. I believe this is God at work. Yes, because God works in a mysterious way. Now they are coming out to make those confessions, how Peter Obi was rigged out, and they know how these things was being done. With this one now, Nigerians will now know that this was what actually happened. Before everybody will keep saying Peter Obi was rigged out, Peter Obi was rigged out. We don't have evidence to back it up. Now there is evidence, and these people, as they're coming out, they are going to give, I know say Inec by now, they will not devise new means, but there is no way they will devise new means that it will totally work in their favor. It will not be easy for them. So I believe this is God at work. In this chat, he also said that he's coming out to run. Already, it's very, very obvious that he's going to run. That one is short. He already done to do his campaign. So, guys, I'm going to allow you to take a look at how the voice of the people addressed this issue. They really said a whole lot of things. But before then, let me just take you through some of these reactions. The first person I have here said, breaking, so you mean Peter Obi won 2023 election, but the result was changed. Rotimi Amaechi. You mean you knew all of this and kept quiet, even during the Supreme Court? Why didn't you testify? You and El-Rufai kept quiet. Yes, that is the question many people have been asking El-Rufai. Why didn't they testify? But then I still believe, saying God, now make them testify. Because there are still some persons that knew that the election was rigged. The government is not favoring them and they are not talking. So in as much as we want to blame El-Rufai and Amaechi for not talking then, but then make we still commend them, because there are still so many APC members and we say this Tinubu administration no favor, they know say the election was rigged, yet they keep mute, they don't want to talk because they are afraid of what will happen, they are afraid of the consequence. But these people then they decide and take both steps to testify. There are a lot of people that worked for this government, maybe say this government no favor at all. What is the name of this guy? There is this guy that died some time ago. I think that was last month or thereabout. Before his death, he came out on Arise television. He said a whole lot. He said he's going to expose them, that he's just giving them little time. He's going to expose them. It was not even up to 1 month. The guy died. So there are a lot of people that don't want to say anything. So we also, in as much as we are blaming them for not speaking out, we still need to commend them for speaking at all. Then this other person said on Rotimi Amaechi space yesterday, you have to give Peter Obi his due accolade. You don't need to be a supporter to appreciate the truth about his impact in Nigerian political landscape. Just 3 years of his emergence into the scene. Really, a lot has changed. Just 3 years into the scene, a lot has changed in Nigerian political landscape. Right now, it looks as if we are not seeing it, but A lot has changed. So guys, I'm going to allow you to take a look at this video, and please help me to drop your thoughts concerning this in the comment section. Also help us to give this video a thumbs up and share the video so that YouTube can also recommend it to others. Thank you very much as you enjoy the rest of the video.
Meanwhile, former Minister of Transportation Rotimi Amaechi has vowed he would change the Nigerian constitution if elected president in 2027. Amaechi made the vow while speaking during an X space tagged Weekend Politics on Friday. He also vowed to end corruption within 1 month as president or resign. Let's take a listen to Rotimi Amaechi, former Minister of Transportation and also former River State Governor, speaking on these developments.
First and foremost is that there is no election in Nigeria after Jega. The worst, what do you call him? National Commissioner for what do you call it? The Inec chairman. The worst is the current chairman of Inec, Mahmood. He's the worst. Now let's go to the elections. The one that put Wike in power. You can ask any reverse man. Wike sat in Inec office in Port Harcourt. If you brought any result that was not favorable, they would say they would tell you to take another result sheet and write a new one. I'm not saying anywhere else, inside INEC. And why? The president said to people that I caused his defeat and therefore he would not allow me to win River State. What did he do? He removed the DIG that was posted to River State. He removed the INEC electoral commissioner that was posted to River State and brought his own persons. When he asked this question, it's very funny. If you talk about human beings, please go to River State. You heard me say to my last interview that I challenge the current minister that let's take a walk from airport to town. First, it will expose my health if I'm not healthy. Second, it will expose who is popular. But I don't want to go far on this matter because it involves quite a lot of things that I don't want to say in public. I'll keep it to my chest and I wish everybody luck. Do I want to be a vice president? I will not want to be a vice president because I'm not running for vice president. I'm running for the presidency of the country. And I believe I will win the primary. So don't ask me whether I will be vice president or not, because I believe I will win. Ask me how. Look at the candidates and look at me now. When it comes to age, I'm 60. I'll be 62 in 2027. So let every other person, maybe other candidates will emerge before them in terms of age. And I have said I will publish my medical records before the election, so that you can see. And I challenge everybody to publish their medical records. I am fully prepared to be the president of Nigeria, and that is what I'm running for. Thank you very much. It shouldn't be about sharing position. It should be about what knowledge do we possess that is different from Tinubu's currently. You can be rest assured that if I'm a president, Nigerians know that I'm not tribalistic. I'm absolutely not tribalistic. That's why I think I'm not a reverse man. I'm a Nigerian. And if I become a president, that's the first thing I will do. I'll change the constitution from indigenship to citizenship. So that wherever you are, you're a citizen of that place. You don't have to be an indigenous of Ukraine or indigenous of River State. I have also said to my friends that if I become the president of Nigeria, 50% of those who constitute the cabinet will be elders. Out of that 50%, 25% will be females. The other 50% will be youths, young men and women. Out of that 50% of young men and women, 25% will be women, 25% will be men. Let's see how they will function. Because we've heard a lot about the youth, and we have seen young governors who came, and we have seen their performance. So we will challenge the youths. And those who know me know that I'm not like other politicians. I hire and I fire. I have no time for sentiment. So I was saying I won't bring back subsidy. That's impossible because the situation is bad in terms of the economy of Nigeria. But I've also said that the reason why the subsidy removal is not successful is that the money is going to private pockets. So I will eliminate corruption. Trust me. The first 1 month of my being in office, corruption will disappear. If it doesn't disappear, I will put under my resignation letter and I will leave. I'm not joking. Now, the problem of the current government is that the benefits of subsidy is shared between 3 or 4 persons at the federal level, and then the governors. And the governors are holding beach parties, dancing and having fun with young girls and all that. It will not happen with me. I will supervise government. Honestly, I will supervise government. So I will not bring back subsidy, but I will make sure that the outcome of the removal of subsidy is put back in the hands and pockets of Nigerians. If that happens, it will reduce poverty. They will have capacity to be able to purchase. The reason why nobody is talking to Nigerians, Nigerians don't have purchasing capacity.
Joining me to discuss issues on the world news at 6 this evening, I have Esther Nwachukwu. Esther, how you doing? Good evening. Thank you for joining me today.
Good evening. I'm doing okay. Thank you, Chuma. How are you?
I'm fine. Happy weekend. Let's get right into it. Former Minister of Transportation and former River State Governor Rotimi Amaechi was on an X space where he talked about running for the presidency in 2027 under the platform of the ADC. He talked about the primaries. He talked about Peter Obi. It was a whole lot of revelations. He revealed how Obi actually won the 2023 presidential elections in River State, but the results were rewritten. He talked about changing the constitution. He talked about ending corruption in 1 month in Nigeria. But let's take it one after the other. Rotimi Amaechi served in Buhari's cabinet as Minister for Transportation. But right now, he's telling us that this current administration is not doing well. And this current administration is supposed to be a continuation of the last administration. Isn't this him shooting himself in the foot and saying that, oh, he was a part of an administration that was not doing well for Nigerians?
Well, Chuma, every politician is funny, very corny. Trust the politician's word at your own risk. And I'm referring to all of them, including Mr. Peter Obi, because they always say something and then they later change their mind. But it is about aura and how you can present the sincerity of somebody. I don't know what strategy is at play. Rotimi Amaechi, just like any other person, has every right to come out and express his intention to run as the president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. But if you want to use the premise of his previous administration of Muhammadu Buhari while he was a minister and how Nigerians groaned insecurity, we remember what happened when he was Minister of Transportation. Can you remember the Kano Abuja rail line that where they were abducted and certain persons were killed that was shut down?
Railway. Yes,
exactly,
you remember
exactly.
We had a conversation recently where that train it was not fixed and it was put back on the railway. There are bullet holes in that train, and Nigerians are riding in that train just like that.
So what I'm trying to say, Chairman, is the fact that your antecedents will speak for you. So let's speak about the coalition. Let's speak about what is going on with the ADC. I remember yesterday on the show in the evening, I don't know if you remember Joe from Bariga. Joe from Bariga said Nigerians were clamoring for a coalition. Now we have a coalition. But Chuma, there is a fundamental problem with this coalition, and it's quite debilitating, actually. It's frustrating for a couple of people who were very hopeful about this coalition. So this coalition wanted to possibly replicate what President Bola Ahmed Tinubu did in 2014, 2015. But they forgot something. President Bola Ahmed Tinubu was very strategic by understanding that he needed to sacrifice his intention on calculating the events, the previous elections from 2007 up until 2007. I think Muhammadu Buhari went for it like 3 different times and kept getting the same results. So Tinubu decided to play the smart one. The coalition is making a mistake. By now, they're supposed to have somebody that they intend to run as their presidential flag bearer and their VP. I know it's not yet time for the campaign. So, but the thing is, you have solidified your house, you have your candidate, you have your vice. So you're now mobilizing, creating awareness, gingering the grassroots across the 36 states of the Federation, creating words, putting in word chairman. I don't know if you understand what I'm trying to say. So that by 2026, you have become formidable. You become so strong. And what I'm talking about is your supporters are fighting, whether it's the propagandists, whether it's those who want to come with false information, because you guys are a unit right now. Anything the APC is coming with, you're throwing them back. So there are different supporters. Rotimi has come now, and there's some people who say, I'm going for Rotimi. Peter Obi has put his interest. Some people say, I'm going for Peter Obi. Atiku has not spoken, but there is this unsaid feeling that Atiku intends to run. So a house divided cannot stand. So right now, the essence of the coalition is what we do not know. That's the truth. They don't seem united. All of them in that coalition don't seem to be together. And it's a problem. It's a problem for their supporters. It's a problem for their followers. So people are saying it's a strategy to distract and confuse the APC. It's not seeming so anymore. I think they're playing into the hands of the APC. They're giving an opportunity for the PDP to look for another loophole, which is former President Goodluck Ebele Jonathan. We heard yesterday what maybe Patrick said. We don't know how true what he said is, but what is playing out now in the ADC and what Rotimi Amaechi came out and said today, it may be likely that what maybe is saying is not actually wrong. Now, he said he's running a primary. No problem. They're doing an open primary. And he's challenging Peter Obi that if you say you're popular, according to him, he said, who says Peter Obi is popular? What is your poll? What's your consensus? So if you say you're popular, then fine. Come and win the primary. Whoever wins the primaries, everybody will back up the person. But the supporters they're not together. You don't have those that are supporting Atiku, you don't have those that are supporting Peter, you don't have those. They're not together. They're still trying to understand how to marry themselves, how to have a synergy. And that is a problem, Choma. The fabric of the APC is not unified. And I don't know if this is a strategy, if they're just waiting to see how Nigerians feel. But at this point in time, Nigerians are so tired to want to understand whatever political strategy or machination you're pulling to be patient for all of these nuances. But a lot of them were looking up to this coalition when they complained that we no longer had any opposition to the government. And the coalition came up and it now seems like they're bringing up persons who have personal interest. So if a coalition needs to work, Choma, sacrifices need to be made by these individuals. So now they're all displaying persons of who are self-serving and just have their own personal interest. If not for certain things, Rotimi Amaechi may have even spoken down on Peter Obi. If not for the fact that there are some things he was not meant to say on that platform. Why would you, for example, say, who told you Peter Obi is stupid or whatever? You didn't have to respond to that. You could literally say Peter Obi has said his piece and I'm saying my own piece. If not for the fact that supposedly Peter Obi is in the coalition, maybe with one leg, he may have said a couple of things. Another interesting thing to note, Choma, is that the actors that were involved in the mutilation of the 2023 elections, they will soon be exposed. Unfortunately, nothing will happen when they're eventually exposed. How the hacking went on, we've heard different audios. I have an audio where the person displayed and described how the elections went on, how it was hacked, how they turned off the server and manually imputed numbers to inflate the results. But then the thing is, how do you want to prove it? And who is ready to come out and put their neck out there if nothing will happen to them to say, this is basically how they did it. This person said the APC contacted him and asked them to work for him or something like that. So he was giving an explanation as to how it works. So if you're saying what you're saying and it's not really factual, you can't name names, then what you're saying could be bogus. But then, everyone has tried to move on from 2023. How do we ensure that 2027 works? The only thing I know is Rotimi intends to fight the very system that you want to get into, or the ADC wants to fight the very system they want to get into. They need to do more than what they are doing now. President Bola Ahmed Tinubu will not sit down and allow certain persons to take it from him.
True.
And whatever it is he's doing, he doesn't care how he's going about it. Their complaint of tribalism, bigotry by this government is quite unfortunate. I may not say the president is directly involved in what is going on, but the fact that some state actors, persons working for the government, actually promote it, and nobody has said anything to question it, to tell them to tone it down, to stop it, it means that it is sanctioned by the government of the day for this kind of ethnic division to promote certain interests. And I think that's going to be the downfall of the APC. They have created a seed of hatred. Some people don't even care anymore how the APC intends to work or what in good intention President Bola Ahmed Tinubu has. They feel that they have fragmented the nation further, created more division, created hatred. How do you want to be a nation? And instead of you to see how you can bring people together, you brought in tribal sentiment, you brought in division, you brought in bigotry. You brought in bigotry for a nation that is barely coping, for people that are trying to feed. You polarize a nation that is barely hanging on a tiny thread. And all your ministers, all your aides are part of the system. And nobody's cautioning anybody, Choma. There is corruption going on, like raising corruption in your face. And they will tell you there's nothing you can do about it. It's wrong. It's absolutely wrong. It's time for the president to look into this thing. Be decisive in dealing with issues. There are individuals in the administration of former President Muhammadu Buhari who were involved in corrupt cases. We're not seeing that voracious pursuit on this guy. We're not seeing it. So there is a major problem, Chomani. That is not addressed. I don't know how this administration intends to engineer support, genuine support from people. And that's why people feel that they will still do what happened in 2023, which is to steal it, grab it, and run away with it. It will not be the genuine participation of ordinary Nigerians.
Well, if there's one thing this administration is also very good at, it's responding to the opposition. So we're looking forward to hearing by Ononuga or anyone else from the presidency to respond to Amaechi, especially when he said...
that's all they do. Respond to political stalwarts. Respond to criticism. You have your receipts speak for you. Respond with receipts. Amaechi is coming up with saying this administration is corrupt. People are going to CBN to steal money. Please come out and counter his claims. If there is anything you even have on the guys, sit out there. What is your statistics? Were you not the one that went to do so? You can do that. Bring out your receipts. Or the persons in our cabinet are going to CBN to steal money. But don't do that. They rather cast aspersions and use terrible names and name calling. The same thing. I don't understand. They're like social media responders. No. It's not healthy, Choma. I think that's the reason why Nigerians are unhappy. Nigerians are unhappy because the very thing that the government is supposed to focus on is not being focused on.
You know, Esther, on this same ADC coalition issue, I want to explore another angle. You know, when Dumebi Kachiku said that Atiku paid as much as 20 million to state chairman of the ADC to step down, and that Professor Ralph Mosu and others who stepped down from the leadership of the ADC did not just do that just because they love the nation too much or because they believe so much in what Atiku is doing, but due to monetary inducement. How do we know that this monetary inducement will not play a huge role in the ADC primaries?
What did you say, Choma? Please repeat yourself.
How do we know that monetary inducement, right, from those people who have bags of money to spare, will not play a role in the ADC primaries ahead of the 2027 elections if Amaechi says they will support whoever emerges from the primaries?
Choma, anyhow anybody wants to go out, it depends on their rules of engagement. It depends on how they intend to facilitate the primaries. It depends on what is on ground. I don't know anything about it. I have never attended a primary. I have never done that. The only thing I can say for sure, Chioma, is this. The ADC should get its house in order. They should just do that. Become a strong coalition with one voice and start mobilizing support. Right now, they are divided and people don't even know what they are doing or who to support.
With so much division, it will be very difficult for them to actually stand against the APC in 2027. But Amaechi's pledge to end corruption in 1 month. Is it possible to end corruption in Nigeria in 1 month?
Shama, if you have a political will as an individual, it's possible. If you're the president, you have all the secrets of this nation at the palm of your hand. There are a lot of secrets in this country. Right now, the president knows a lot of secrets. A lot. All you need to do is to call the chief of army staff, call the National Intelligence Agency, tell them to give him reports of certain persons, certain people. Don't do the needful. Call the EFCC people, begin to investigate those guys. How much money? Those who are ready to remit money should remit. If they want to run away from prosecution or whatever, let them start. They should pay back the money. This is the nation's wealth. And then you can do what you call public accountability. Nigerians, these are the amount of money you're getting from a lot of people who looted your treasury. And this is what we're going to take this money into. Unfortunately, a lot of them there right now are culpable. They're all looting money. They're all looting money every day, Chioma, for themselves. And that's why people feel the wealth is not spreading. The wealth is not being felt by people at the grassroots. That it is only them that are eating the money. So if you circulate the money amongst yourself, you make businesses flourish only for you. You forget that what keeps the nation thriving, what keeps the economy thriving are the small-scale, medium businesses, those businesses. And there was something President Amaechi said, there is no middle class, Chioma. All hands naturally are not equal. Not everybody can be rich and not everybody can be poor. But you see that fast thing, whether you like it or not, it has a natural way of oiling itself. You have the elite, you have the middle class, and you have the poor. But when the wealth trickles, when everybody has access to something, they're surviving. And what am I talking about, Shoma? Security, enabling business environment, easy means of transportation, both on road, by sea, and by air. Provide shelter, make accessibility to food, in fact, agriculture, textile industries, and manufacturing, make it boom. Shoma, watch Nigerians do their thing. Nigerians are so hardworking, so creative, so determined set of human beings. They can make something out of nothing. I am telling you the truth. Just give them an enabling environment. Nigerians will do their thing. And I don't understand why our leaders don't value that aspect of us. If you go to other countries, you see some of their youthful populations very lazy. Somebody who is coming from a home that they have almost access to everything will be telling you they are depressed. Tell me why they are depressed, Choma. They will say things, they will give you one kind of excuse that you cannot even begin to capitulate. People that have access to food, proper education, welfare, but they are depressed. You be asking yourself, what is this problem? Is this really a spiritual problem? Nigerians, despite the hunger, despite the thirst, despite the acidity, you see us prevailing. And I don't know why our leaders don't take advantage of this spirit that we have and utilize it and make our economy thrive. You don't know why. It's sad. It's very sad.
Esther, just before you go, we have a few minutes. In just about 1 or 2 minutes, I want you to respond to Amaechi saying he will, and he can defeat Tinubu in 2027 if he gets the ADC ticket. He's not the only one who wants to be their presidential candidate. Atiku is there, Obi is there. Of these three, does he have the highest political clout to defeat Tinubu in 2027? Or he can do that with their support?
So, 24 hours in politics is like a year. Anything can happen with a snap of your finger. You can never tell. If Amaechi begins to put himself out there, show some sense of transparency, start mobilizing, letting people understand certain things, who knows? But I don't know. I can't speak for him. Right now, he's part of the system. He was in the APC. So I don't trust this guy, to be honest with you. I don't trust politicians. I can't do politics. I can't be a politician, so I don't trust politicians. Whatever it is they say, you just take it with the tip of your finger and just trust that whatever it is they say may actually work. President Bola Tinubu told us a lot of things during the campaign. What we're experiencing now is different from what he told us.
What we are experiencing now really is different from what he told us. Esther,